with recent reality. I want to examine what has turned into a little bit, to a certain degree. I don't want to get carried away here. But perception versus the performance, it's not necessarily matching up if you look at recent history. And here's what I mean. Do you think it's fair to throw out the final game of the 24 season against Kansas City when they rested everyone? It was like a scout team, it was 38-0.
Yeah, I mean, like it helped us get to the playoffs. But we all know, like, hey, look, it was a JV team out there. You're not going to sit down and think about that game again. Yeah. That guy, I think it's fair.
Yeah, we learned very little from that game. It was not representative of NFL football. So in the following exercise, we're going to throw out that last game, and we're going to look at the last 7 games for the Denver Broncos defense, moving backward from this past week. This past week, they gave up 29 points and 473 yards. Okay? Week 1, stellar vice grip type of performance. 12 total points, 133 yards. We know that there's some context to that. Cam Ward's first ever game, but still, you earned that. The Buffalo loss in the playoffs, 31 points, 477 yards. We're throwing out the KC game that would have preceded the Bills game, so you go to the Cincinnati game. They gave up 30 points and 499 yards. The game prior to that, it was the Chargers, who scored 34 points and accumulated 380 yards. The game prior to that was the Cleveland Browns, who scored 32 points on Monday Night Football and accumulated, and I can't believe this is true, 552 yards.
The Jerry Jeudy game.
The Jerry Jeudy payback game.
The Jerry Jeudy game.
That means, though, Phil, over a 7-game sample size, it's not a full season, but it's also not a game or two. In the last 7 games, the Broncos defense is allowing an average of 26 points and 403 yards. If you looked at last year's NFL season, 26 points a game would have ranked 29th in the NFL, and 403 yards allowed would have ranked 31st in a league of 32. The defense on Sunday allowed 3 pass plays of over 40 yards in the first half alone. The Colts averaged 9.8 yards on first down. Have we, and I'm including myself here, have we mismanaged to a certain degree our expectations with this defense, talking about they can be number 1, top 5 should be the floor, when the previous 7 football games that they have played, you're averaging giving up 26 points and over 400 yards.
No, I'm not going to say we mismanaged that. Or at least for me, I'm not gonna sit here and say it right now. It's only week 2, and I know you're talking about a bigger sample size of last year, but we also had 63 sacks. We also had the reigning defensive player of the year in Pat Surtain. We also just paid a lot of these players like Zach Allen, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper was paid last year. So this team has what it takes. We talked about it on paper. But when you watch this crew, when they're doing everything the right way, when everybody is starring in their role, doing their part, they play really good football. So I'm not ready to say, hey, we're mismanaging this, or we're not saying the right things. I truly believe that this team can be a top 5 defense again and still be number 1, but they have to make changes. And the changes are, hey, tackle, inside linebackers, Alex Singleton, Justin Sternad until Dre Greenlaw can get back in the mix. You guys have to come up and plug holes, put the defensive linemen in the right gaps. Zach Allen, you're going to have to be stout. It's not all about just going and sacking the quarterback. It's stopping the run too, being disciplined with that. And for Vance Joseph, I said this last year, and I'm going to say it again. There's 2 things. You have to make adjustments at halftime. And if you cannot do that, you will get beat against teams that go in and make adjustments, especially if they're really good and they have a good quarterback. But also the disguise of the blitzes. We try to bring pressure and bring blitzes from the inside linebacker, Alex Singleton, Justin Sternad, and Jonathan Taylor, and some of the running backs were able to pick that up. Well, now there's leakage in the coverage. And if you have a smart quarterback like Daniel Jones, who has played a lot of football and he understands that there's a pressure coming, the running back picks it up, there's not another guy in coverage to help you out. So now there's a hole in the coverage. And if you are able to get there or understand it as a quarterback, you're able to diagnose the play, the coverage fast, I'm going to hit my hot route right away. Quarterbacks that are good like Justin Herbert will do that to you. So for VJ moving forward, disguise your blitzes. Hufanga can come off a blitz. Brendan Jones can come off of a blitz. You got someone like Jaquan McMillan who came off a blitz against Cam Ward.
End of the game.
Mix it all up to confuse a quarterback, especially when you're playing against Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes. They are going to understand schemes, coverages, leverages because they've played a lot of football.
Are you concerned, by what you saw this past week? I know you're still hopeful that they can be a top 5 defense. You said that at the top, but
no, I'm not concerned at all.
Okay,
I'm not concerned at all because they have a bunch of guys in that building that want to get better, that are coachable, that want to make these plays, and they're going to be able to communicate. That's one thing I think that the Denver Broncos lacked, and it showed on Jonathan Taylor's wheel route touchdown, was communication.
Sure.
Everybody has to be on the same page. And as long as everybody's on the same page doing their part, they will have success. They will be able to get the pressure, force the quarterback into making bad decisions. But if you don't get pressure on these quarterbacks, and I keep bringing up Justin Herbert because we're getting ready to play him, they will pick us apart.
On the RamosLaw.com text line, when is Dre Greenlaw coming back? Everyone wants to know that, guys. We just don't know. We just don't know. And I would just we can be
optimistic.
Yeah, we can be optimistic about Greenlaw or even excited, but I would just caution the over-dependence on someone you've never seen play in orange and blue, and we've seen play about 3 games in 2 years. So I know for myself, I have pumped the brakes a while ago on this. I have no idea. From an expectation standpoint, it's almost down to 0.
Well, we have to see him out there. He wasn't out there. He wasn't available during OTAs, dealing with the strain quad. He wasn't out there during camp. And none of the preseason games. Hasn't been able to play yet in a regular season game. So, yeah, we can be optimistic. We can be excited about Dre Greenlaw because the hype around him. But he has to be available for that to happen. And let me just tell you guys this about Dre Greenlaw. And I played against him. Alex Singleton, Dre Greenlaw, they are really good when it comes to stopping the run. But when you put them in an isolation situation where they're one-on-one with a tight end that can run routes or a slot receiver or a running back out of the backfield, that is not their strength. So even if we had Dre Greenlaw in this Colts game, is he able to hang with Tyler Warren? Is he able to hang with someone like Jonathan Taylor if he's one-on-one? It's hard for a 250-pound linebacker to move with these slots and these tight ends and these running backs nowadays. So just to put that on you guys' radar, when Drake Greenlaw comes back, he's there to stop the run.
Yeah. Elsewhere on the RamosLaw.com text line, there's Zach, always looking for a reason to be concerned. Bud, I appreciate you listening from California. But I just told you over the last 7 games, the Broncos defense is allowing an average of 26 points and over 400 yards. That would have ranked you 29th and 31st in the NFL last year in those 2 pretty important categories. So it's not like
you're just giving the facts.
I'm passing along the information, and we're having the conversation. Should we be concerned? So we're obviously still gathering more information, but it's a lot of the same players. Broncos had the number 1 most retention rate in the NFL this year. So it's a lot of the same guys. So it's going to be interesting here moving forward because the challenge that awaits Denver here on Sunday, all due respect to the new and improved operation in Indianapolis, this puppy's, as they said in Wizard of Oz, it's just a horse of a different color. This is a bona fide coach and quarterback that we're not asking, hey, is this real or not?
Yeah.
With Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones. They're really good.
They're ready to go.
And they're number 1 in the AFC West right now, sitting alone in first place and currently the betting favorite to win the AFC West. So we're going to continue to analyze it and try to have these conversations and pass along the information and have critical